Hello again, my name's Gabe Zollner. Well, if you've been viewing me in the early days, I posted a number of videos on AARP, and I said that they're not a friend of ours. One of my friends out of the Houston area sent me an interesting link. I'm going to turn this into a video. It starts off, a shrinking AARP is losing plenty of seniors. The lady who wrote this letter not only has a grasp of the situation, but also an incredible passion as well. Her letter was sent to Mr.Rand, CEO of AARP. It goes on, it only takes a few days on the internet, and this will have reached 75% of the public in the United States of America. Well, I want this to go international as well. And hopefully every senior will have a chance to listen to it. Dear Mr. Rand, recently you sent us a letter encouraging us to renew our lapsed membership in AARP by the requested date. This isn't what you were looking for, but it's the most honest response I can give you. Our coverage gap is a microscopic symptom of the real problem, a deepening lack of faith. While we have proudly maintained our membership for years and long admired the AARP goals and principles, regrettably, we can no longer endorse its abdication of our values. Your letter stated that we can count on AARP to speak up for our rights, yet the voice we hear is not ours. You offer of being kept up to date on important issues through Divided We Fail presents neither an impartial view nor the one we have come to embrace. We do believe that when two parties agree all the time on everything presented to them, one is probably not necessary, but when the options and long-term goals are diametrically opposed, the divorce is imminent. This is the philosophy which spawned our 200 years of government. Once upon a time, we looked forward to being part of the senior demographic. We also look to AARP to provide certain benefits and give our voice a power we could not possibly hope to achieve on our own. AARP once gave us a sense of belonging which we no longer enjoy. The socialist politics practiced by the Obama regime and empowered by AARP serves only to raise the blood pressure my medical insurance strives to contain. Clearly, a conflict of interest there. We do not understand the AARP posture, feel greatly betrayed by the guiding forces that we expected to map out our senior years and leave your ranks with a great sense of regret. We mitigate that disappointment with the relief of knowing that we are not contributing to the problem anymore by renewing our membership. There are numerous other organizations which offer discounts without threatening our way of life or offering our sensibilities and values, or offending our sensibilities and values. This Obama regime scares the living daylights out of us, not just for ourselves, but for our proud and blood-stained heritage. But more importantly, for our children and grandchildren. Washington has rendered Soylent Green a prophetic cautionary tale rather than a non-fiction scare tactic. I have never endorsed any militant or radical group, yet now I find myself listening to them. I don't have to agree with them to appreciate the fear which birthed their existence. Their borderline insanity presents little more than a balance to the voice of the socialist mindset and power. Perhaps I became American by a great stroke of luck in some cosmic uterine lottery, but in my adulthood I chose to embrace it and nurture the freedoms it represents, as well as the responsibilities. Your website generally offers us the opportunity to receive all communication in Spanish. Are you kidding? The illegal perpetrators have broken into our house, invaded our home without invitation or consent. The president insists we keep these illegals, perpetrators in comfort and learn the perpetrator's language so we can communicate our reluctant welcome to them. I don't choose to welcome them, to support them, to educate them, to medicate them, or to pay for their food and clothing. American home invaders get arrested. Please explain to me why foreign lawmakers can enjoy privileges on American soil that Americans do not get. Why do some immigrants have to play the game to be welcomed and others only have to break and enter to be welcomed? We travel for a living. Walt hauls horses all over this great country, averaging over 10,000 miles a month when he is out there. He meets more people than a politician on caffeine overdose. Of all of the many good folks he enjoyed on his last 10,000 miles, this trip yielded only one supporter of the current regime. One of us is out of touch with mainstream America. Since our poll is conducted without funding, I have more faith in it than ones that are driven by the need to yield amnesty, aka make voters out of the foreign lawbreakers so we can vote to continue the government's free handouts. This addition of 10 to 20 million votes, who then will vote to contribute socialism, will overwhelm our votes to control the government's free handouts. It is a slippery slope we must not embark on. As Margaret Thatcher, former Prime Minister of Great Britain, once said, socialism is great until you run out of other people's money. We have decided to forward this to everyone on our mailing list and will encourage them to do the same. With several hundred in my address book, I have every faith that the eventual exploitation factor will make a credible statement to you. I am disappointed as all get out. I am more scared than I've ever been in my entire life. I am angry, I am mad as heck, and I'm not going to take it anymore. Walt and Cindy Miller, Miller Farms and Equine Transport. Goes on to say, keep this moving. Furthermore, if you do not like checking on AARP's website, if you do a little checking, you will find their anti-Second Amendment position to disarm us. In internet lingo, if enough people pass this on, it will go viral. Well, as I said at the beginning of this particular little clip that I put together, thanks to Walt and Cindy Miller, I have spoken against AARP numerous times. When they sent me initial mailers, I did my own research and I found that they receive a kickback. When you buy a policy or you buy anything that they endorse, they receive a certain fee based on what you purchased. They make hundreds of millions of dollars just on the annual membership fee, and then they make hundreds upon hundreds of millions of dollars on kickbacks. Kick them to the curb. Get rid of them. They're supporters of this regime. They're supporters of trying to take away our Second Amendment rights. They endorsed Obamacare. What's that tell you? Get rid of them. Please pass this along to your like-minded friends. They need to know and get rid of AARP once and for all. If they don't, they're contributing to their own demise. That's sort of what I think. That's what Walt and Cindy Miller thinks. The question now is, what do you think?